do right here is go back. What we're gonna do right here is go back. Go back, go back, back, go back, go back, back, go back, go back, back.
Alright, and welcome back to Kuma Style Reviews. I'm TJ Duckett, and going on with the Fewture models, we've got Fewture models, EX Gokin, their Mazinger 1969. This one does come with Jet's Grander, as well as his hovel powder and his jet powder too. So pretty cool accessories, and it tells you right off the bat. Just this on the front sleeve. Some other information on the bottom. So taking off that sleeve though. 1 second here. Alright, you've got a nice picture, a lot like the Integer box. Alright, we've got Mazinger right here. It's a really gritty, grainy look, but very cool. Very, very cool. So nothing on any of the sides here, but the Mazinger 1969. Alright, and we're ready to go ahead and dig into the figure itself, but there's the box. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, now we really get to have some fun, and I can tell you this is a fantastic, fantastic figure off the bat. So, if you see one online right now for a decent price, stop watching this, go buy it, come back, finish the video. Because that'd really be appreciated, but no, this is an awesome set, and you can see it comes with quite a bit more stuff than the Integer 1969. So, let's go ahead and take a look. Of course, it comes with the figure itself. We'll go ahead and get to that in the next section here. But accessories wise, it does come with its Jet's Grander. Alright, it comes with both the jet and the hover powder. If you guys didn't watch my review for Integer 1969 or any Mazinger related anything, all of these are controlled by these powders here. Some are in the form of aircrafts. I know Mazingkaiser's was a more futuristic jet, and Integer was actually controlled by a motorcycle. They all just peg into the top, well, not peg, but in the show, you know, set somehow inside of the top of their head, and that's how the pilot controls them. That's how they connect. So, okay. He does come with a sword, which is really cool. He comes with alternate breastplates, right? More of a breast fire, clear style there. Different forms of the, they're not necessarily brass knuckles, but spiked knuckles. These two are more nubs, and these two are both claws, but these stick out a little bit farther. Okay? Now, all of these, Integer did not come with the Jet's Grander, the sword. He only came with one powder, which was the motorcycle. He did come with the chest pieces. He did not come with the knuckles here. He also didn't come with these guys. These are die cast as well. Plastic on the blades though, but these are bladed forearms, which looks really cool if you're wanting to simulate the rocket punch and things like that. And they look cool even just sitting on them, to be honest with you. He comes with open fist. The closed fists are on him, as well as completely open hands. So those accessories, the hands, are like Integer. Also like Integer, he does come with a standard stand, which clips into his butt area the exact same as it does. But this one has a little bit more use for it. Since he comes with his Jet's Grander and things like that, you can simulate flight poses and things like that with him too. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that in the next section as well. But alright, that's what's out of the box. You also get the instructions, which include everything that you should get. So if you get this figure, make sure it's complete. These aren't cheap, and it's always a great thing to know that what you've got is there. Okay, I can just count this, everything, yeah. Now, they don't come folded in half, but I fold mine in half because I keep everything stored in freezer bags, but you've got a good layout here of just how everything goes on, as well as the features and things like that of the robot itself. It shows you all of the articulation and things like that too, just to make it a little bit more foolproof, you know? You kind of know, hey, this is what can move, this is how it can move, boom. So, very cool instructions. I love just the front and back, simple layout. Cool stuff. But alright, that's what's in the box. Now let's get to the figure itself. Alright, so now we get to dig into the figure itself. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of accessories, but the stuff that this thing comes with is so awesome that I cannot wait to just start loading this guy up. But anyway, I want you guys to, first off, take a look at the head sculpt here. Just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Fewture did a tremendous job with the reimagining of this figure, as they always do. I'm not the biggest fan of their 1901 line, which is the more steampunk style designs, but these 1969 figures, man, oh man. You could see that he definitely takes cues from the original Mazinger design, but I mean, Jiminy. He is something of a kind. Now, like I said, and showed you guys, he comes with both the jet and hover powders. Now, when they're the difference, the hover is like a hovercraft, and the jet is more traditional wing style. You can see for each of them, you just fold the wings up, and be careful. It's not like cheap plastic or anything like that, but it's so thin and such a small piece that it does have some give in there, but it seems like something that would be easy to break. So just watch it when bending those wings around. After the first couple of times, just taking them back and forth, it's pretty good, but on those first couple of times, watch out. But that's how it looks when it's ready to go ahead and install on the top of his head. And they just peg in, so the peg's fairly easy to find. And the only reason I'm using that one is because it was in my hand. Once they're in there, they don't look much different from each other at all. Okay. So once again, there's that. Now, his mouth does have the opening feature that the Integer does as well. So, zooming out here some. Alright. Be careful. The first time that I went to take his head off, literally his head, or the top of his head, came off. So this crown part is actually, it's not all one mold. The crown through like the top of the brow, that's separate. So if you grab from here, this is actually going to pop off. And it's fine because it's a piece that pegs in. I just went ahead and glued it back. It's not like it's a clean break or anything like that. It just unpegs. And it doesn't peg back in quite as tight as when you first get it. So I just went ahead and glued it down. Because you can actually grab from under the helmet here to pull it off. So, bracing down here. And this is part of why I wear gloves. Because, it's so easy to start to get fingerprints and stuff like that in that really glossy, fine paint job. But, alright, now we have the head here. Now, trying to go from the front here. It's not really the easiest with gloves because it's a lot better if you have fingernails, but I'm trying. And there you go. You can see that his mouth does in fact open. In fact, let me see if I can get a little bit more leeway out of there, but okay. There we go. Let me zoom in for you. Okay. Now, here comes the tricky part. Pegging it back in while keeping the mouth open. Alright, so I'm going for the peg in. I always peg the head back in at a bit of an angle. Let me actually zoom the camera up so I can show you why. I know this seems like a little bit much concentration, but parts of these figures are a little bit finicky, so if you get this, I mean, it's nice to show things off, but for people who do own the toy, I want them to be able to be safe with it as well. But I put it in at an angle because he does have this Adam's apple here. So it just pegs in a little bit easier with the mouth open if you put it in, with his face to the side. So I'm pegging it in. And since I'm pressing downwards now, that's why I'm using the helmet, because you're not going to lift the helmet up and off if you press downwards on it. So, but it's a very straightforward down movement. But okay, now I'm angling that back, and that Adam's apple with the mouth open makes it very, very hard. Okay, there we go. We got it straight. All right. So now we can actually start taking a look at some of the posability of the figure. You can turn it on that head there, you know, where the head pegs in, but I prefer just to turn the whole neck. It's a more realistic turn anyway. And he does have up and down head movement there. Okay. Shoulders. Full range of movement there. When you angle them out, they actually ratchet. Bicep swivel. Really strong elbow ratchets, as well as ball jointed wrist. Like Iniger, he does have the ratcheting chest where it meets the abs for that crunch, as well as a 360 turn and waist there. Okay. Still the same, full range in the thighs there. Good amount of knee bend. Okay. As well as those same ratcheting foot joints with the separately articulated front. So very cool, and you can see he's got a lot of posability in him and things like that. Now I just want to show off the paint job on him. Really nice gloss paint. It's glossy, but it's not like overkill, if that makes sense. It just looks good. Alright, I'm actually going to turn his head a little bit more. It's bugging me out. Alright. Okay, got a couple of features here. He does feature, just like Iniger, it's the same body mode. The flips, two pieces that flip up and down. This flips down, this flips up. This is for the jet scrander to attach to his back. And that's for the peg into the butt area for the stand. And let's go ahead and take this opportunity to look at jet scrander, since we've got that open. Now, to me, this is about the nicest part of the set. It's hard to show on camera, but this is a really just deep blood cherry red. And it's not like incandescent or anything like that, but just the way it handles light and just the ridges and things like that, it is beautiful. It looks like this paint was poured on, almost like when you watch ice cream commercials and you see them like dip it in. Just the way that like outer coating of chocolate looks, this is just a very nice candy paint job. It does have the black panel lining and things like that too. And this gold accent, I love the shade of gold that they use because it's a lot more subtle and lets the red really, really, really shine. So, just looks good. Alright? And there's the bottom. And it's cool because the part that clips into the back, you can actually clip it up. This jet scrander is something that I would put on a stand and, you know, just have position like that in a DTOF. Okay. So let's get it ready to go ahead and attach to his back. We do that by flipping that out. That's where it's going to peg into the back. Now you'll notice the wings are not pointed the right direction. And this has to be the most satisfying click. Just a really nice, strong ratchet. I love it. Okay? And then, since we've got that open, we'll just go ahead and peg it into his back. That peg actually kind of, red rum, clips in and over. So once you've got it down, you can feel it pretty well, okay? So there's that. This is how it looks on his back. And this is how he looks from the front. So for those of us who didn't watch my Iniger review, same height, but to go ahead and measure again, about 9 3/4 inches. And with the scrander on his back, I'm seeing about 9 1/4 inch. wide. So think about that when you're looking at display space and stuff like that. Now, one thing that is different from Vinegar with him is his chest plates. He does come with, they're slightly different in terms of aesthetic and things like that, but these share the same candy red paint job as the Jet Grander for one, which is awesome. I actually prefer these over the clear chest plates, and on Vinegar it's quite the opposite. And two, these are die casts, where Integers are plastic. So just two very cool, things that they did special for this version of the figure. Alright. Now, we have some other cool stuff. Like Integer, his forearms are actually magnetized. So, I'll just go ahead and do one. But, strong magnets, I'll go ahead and just take this hand, unpeg it, peg it into the new forearm. And it's a tight peg too, so don't be too afraid to go ahead and jam it in there. You're going to have to. The only thing is his hands are kind of bendy, so just watch the fingers and stuff like that. Don't want them to fall off. But check this out. So, alright, I'm going to do that one more time so you can see how strong the magnet is. I wish there was some way to... Okay, so I'm going to see if I can see that on camera. Get to about right there, and boom. It's a nice strong. You see, even I can pull on the figure with it and stuff like that. It's a good strong magnet. These figures were very well done. Okay, so we'll also go ahead and add one of the knuckles here, the spiked knuckles. And it pegs in really easy because they have nice deep pegs where the knuckles start on the figure itself. And these are on all hands too, so that's pretty cool, even the open hands. Now, alright, we've got this big badass sword, so there's no way we're not going to utilize this. Alright, so I'll go ahead, if I can get the right fist, and show you how that works. Alright, so, zooming in, you got the fist here, and instead of having to worry about mangling the fingers and things like that, the thumb actually pegs out, so you can simply get the sword back in there. Alright, see pretty clearly how it goes, and from there there we go. Now, since I am apparently either blind or senile, I put the sword in backwards, so I'm going to show you how this thumb pegs in again. Because I'm awesome. So, okay. And it's a good strong peg. Alright, now, unpegging that. And I actually, since they are a tight peg, I kind of go outwards when I'm unpegging it, so you can get some leverage. Because this also pegs into the hand itself, and you don't want the ball joint left in the forearm. Okay. So now, we've got that peg back in. And you can see that this is badass. Now, apparently, this sword actually combines with a sword that comes with the Great Mazinger, 1969, and makes like this ultra badass weapon. So, yeah, I gotta get me a Great Mazinger too, and hopefully I can do that within the next week or so and review it for you guys. But, okay, there he is. Now, I mean, he's looking badass, he's got a sword, but that pose, man, that sucks. So let's just give him a little something. Don't worry, Jet's Grander's going to be okay. There we go. And you can definitely have the knuckles and things like that on both hands if you want to, just to save some time though. I didn't. You know, the sword being in his hand has no effect on it. But yeah, take a look at that, man. This thing is bad-assed. There's no other way to describe it. So, just a beautiful paint job. Beautiful, beautiful, almost solid die-cast figure. I mean, the only parts of him that aren't die-cast are a lot of the joints themselves, but still strong plastic ratcheting, the hands, and then I believe the biceps, because the shoulders definitely are, the forearms are, but the biceps are more of a plastic cast. It's like a hard plastic that simulates a die cast, but it doesn't have that same like cold feel. But looks wise, it's dead on. But yeah, I mean, all the body, the head is not, but this thing's, oh my god. I'm sitting here like swooning out on camera, but yeah, this is a fantastic, fantastic piece of just art. And yeah, but alright, there he is. That is the Mazinger 1969 fully loaded. Right, and final thoughts on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. I mean, if you couldn't tell during the review, I'm very enamored with this just fine, fine, fine collectible item. I love the accessories that he comes with. I love the amount of accessories. And on top of that, I mean, damn. I can't say enough just how cool this figure is. It's incredible. So, I mean, the paint job's great. The amount of die cast is great. The sculpt is out of this world because I am not a Mazinger fan. Like, I don't hate the anime, but I'm just not the biggest fan. I know it inside and out. Between Mazinger, Great Mazinger, and especially Mazing Kaiser, they were just way too overpowered for my liking. I don't like the fact that the protagonist basically just, I don't know, it was almost like Dr. Hell and the other bad guys throughout the show, Daishogun, like all of them were pretty much spending time trying to figure out how not to get their asses kicked instead of it being a superhero struggle to defeat the bad guy, you know? That's how overpowered these robots were. They were like walking cheat codes. And then if one didn't like do as well, oh, well, that was the fake version of the robot Dr. Kabuto actually had. So, yeah, between the stupid cartoon and then just the big, rotund-looking designs of the mecha and things like that, just very dated in my opinion, and some of my least favorite super robots, period. But these redesigns by Fewture are just incredible. It's crazy how, like, my least favorite super mecha are now some of my favorite toys that I own, period. Because of how well of a job that they did reimagining this. You know, even if they did the same script with these designs for the mecha, I would be able to tolerate it a lot more than before. But anyway, like I said, this figure's incredible, well worth the money. It's not cheap. You're going to pay what you're going to pay, but when you pay it, know that it's going to be worth it. This has been TJ Duckett with another Kuma Style review. Once again, this is Fewture Models, Great Mazinger, 1969. This is not the repaint version, this is the original. The other one is the Demon Color version that comes with a more bluish tint to, you know, all the silver areas and things like that. But okay, thank you guys for watching and see you next time. This thing's awesome.